Hi, I'm Chas, and you're watching Chas's Crazy Creations. Today we're going to make something fun for your yard, and I've covered my surface with a drop cloth. I just buy these at the dollar store. That way I can use them and cut the length I need. And then this, you can use any size saucer. I am going to start with a 4-inch saucer. And we're gonna start with this side of it. As you can see, so here's some of the sticky residue. I removed the tag, and you don't have to worry about the residue at all. I'm gonna start with Folk Art acrylic paint in the color Clover, and you wanna give it a good shake. Now, you could put it on a separate plate or dish, but I'm gonna place it right here on top of my saucer, like that. The next thing I'm going to do is just paint the entire top of the saucer. Now, what is important for this project is deciding where you're going to put it on display. So if it's going to go outside, you need to make sure that the paint you choose is safe for outdoors. If it's going to be inside, any acrylic paint can work. Any plaid, folk art, apple barrel, home decor chalk paint, these will all work. But if it's going to go outside, you definitely need to make sure that you get the right paint for that. Okay, it looks like I need a little bit more paint, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick that on. And then the other thing I like about this kind of paint is that it is water soluble. So you can easily wash it out of your brushes. If you get it on yourself, you can clean it up off of yourself as well. So I definitely like it for that. Now we're gonna finish here, and then we're gonna let it dry according to the paint container's instructions. And then if it needs a second coat, I'll go ahead and give it a second coat, following those instructions for cure times and such, and repaint times. So here it is, and we'll go on to the next step while this dries. Next, I have 4 mini Terra Cotta pots, and they all have stickers on them. These are 2 inches, and I hate pulling these stickers off. They are really hard to get off. So as you can see here, this one, I just have to work at it. So sometimes you can soak it in water. Sometimes you just have to work at it. But for this project, I'm not even gonna worry about them. I'm gonna paint right over the top of them because they're gonna be facing in the center, and you're not even gonna know that they're there. So what I'm gonna do next is just paint the same color onto these little 2-inch Terra Cotta pots, all 4 of them, and you do not need to paint this part right here. We'll be using that later, but it does not need to be painted. So you can just focus on the sides of your pots. And then again, I'm just gonna leave that label on, but you're welcome to take it off if you prefer. So I'll go ahead and finish painting all 4 of these, and then we will talk about what's next. While those are drying, I'm going to be focusing on this ping pong ball, and I'm going to be using Folk Art acrylic paint, fresh cut grass. So this is wax paper, and I just add a small dab of hot glue to hold this in place while I paint it. This will help me get the whole thing painted, and I can remove my fingers to finish it off. So that spot that has the hot glue, don't worry about that part because we will be gluing that spot again onto our project. So you don't have to worry about that piece. You just want to get the whole thing coated with paint. And depending upon how you like your paint, you can decide if you want it to have 1 or 2 coats and how even you want that to look. So I'll go ahead and finish painting this up, and then we'll let it dry, and we'll go back to hopefully the other piece and make sure that we can move on to the next step, which will be the saucer. I'll also be using the fresh cut grass paint for this next step. So this time I'm going to place the paint on this little bit of wax paper here. And then I'm going to tap a stencil brush into it. I want to get it good and coated, but you can also offload it a bit. It's kind of, this part's just kind of a personal preference of what you'd like to do with it. And I'm gonna add just some random circle dots, and they don't need to be perfect. So I'm just gonna go around and kind of give them a rough circle. I mean, it doesn't need to be a perfect circle, and you're gonna see why. It's really just a shape, I guess I should say, of what you are inspired by. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep going around here, making this these shapes and making them look kind of the way I want to. And again, like I said, it's really a personal preference of how you want this to look and be. So I'll keep going around and then I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Here it is all finished up, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this dry. So I'm gonna place all of my pots like this and the labels facing in. And then I'm going to place my saucer on top here and we'll be gluing that into place. So I'm gonna pick up the saucer and I'm gonna place glue on all the corners here, and I can place some in the middle. Basically, we're just making sure it's able to adhere. And then the other piece, make sure that one doesn't drip, that you can do is you can always add silicone if it's gonna go outside. So keep that in mind if you are wanting to place this outside somewhere, then you'll want to make sure to use silicone then. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this sets up, and then we will move on to the next step. Next, I'm gonna add some hot glue to my ping pong ball, and I'm going to place it right here. And we're gonna wait till it sets up. Next, I'm gonna take a permanent marker and I'm going to draw a face onto my turtle. And so I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting his face on there, and I'll show you what it looks like. So my turtle's all ready to go. So I've made this turtle family. This one was made with a bigger terracotta saucer and is made with acrylic paint. This one is made with chalk paint and is slightly smaller. So this was an 8-inch saucer, a 6-inch saucer, and then a 4-inch saucer, and all of them have the same size underneath, and they all have the ping pong balls. Here they are in my family room, and I'm thrilled with how they turned out. I'll be moving them outside to my garden when it's springtime. I hope this inspires you to make some terracotta turtles of your own. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel and my blog at chascrazycreations.com. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.